Order the December meeting of the Town of Newbury Human Resources Board. Present are Mark Leckman, Chair.
John Ferrara.
Anthony Antico.
Rick Harris.
And also present manning the camera is Diane.
Doyle.
Diane Doyle. Excuse me. Before we get into minutes and employee issues, we do have an opportunity to go into executive session here this evening on a couple of items of note. And so unless anyone disagrees, let me play with the agenda a little bit, move right to executive session for the purposes of efficiency. So Diane, I would ask you to. Okay, we are back in open session after our executive session. Thank you very much. Personnel actions and job I'm sorry, we do not have prior meeting minutes as yet. We will have those to review as well as this meeting in January. Personnel actions and job vacancies. Diane, you said there were a couple other things coming down the pike.
So we met and classified the fire mechanic position
Right.
last week.
Yep.
That's been classified and I have the information for that. We did have the resignation of the communications specialist. We do have a new communications officer that's been hired for the police department.
Is that dispatch?
That is dispatch, correct. And still have a couple of clerical positions that need to come before the classification committee, but those will have to wait until January.
Okay. Thank you, Diane. So we got a couple things ready to go. I think I'll have conversations with Tracy on both those first. Discrimination and or ethics issues. I'm not aware of anything that's popped up. Diane, no? John, when he sent me his note, indicated that he was not aware of anything that needed to be discussed. We'll pass on safety issues. Other business, update on revised personnel policy. I think Diane and Tony have been doing yeoman's work on that.
Yeoman.
Yeoman's work?
Oh, yeoman.
Yeoman.
So Tony and I met twice and we took the proposed policy that was drafted by town council in conjunction with the new bylaws that were approved at fall town meeting. So we took that proposed policy and we reviewed that at length. We compared it to all of the work that this board had done to revise what was formerly chapter
20 and 22 of the bylaws.
22 and 24. And we went through and made sure that those changes, in fact, were documented in the new policy and spent quite a bit of time making sure that everything that we had done here as a committee was reflected in the new policy. At the same time, we also took a look at the employee handbook, which we have been using. The employee handbook was a derivative of the old chapter 24 and was really a tool for us to use with new employees coming on board to give them a synopsis of what the benefits were for the town.
Right.
So at the same time, we compared the handbook to make sure that anything that was in the handbook, again, which was a derivative of chapter 24, the handbook was reflected in the new policy as well. And we did find a couple of things that we wanted to make sure we add in. So basically where we are now is we have some revisions to the new policy manual that I will be responsible for putting in the edits. And also taking a look at the, what do you call it?
Oh, the table of contents?
So, well, the way that things were enumerated.
Oh, they were all
in
over
the
the
table
place,
of
yeah.
contents.
Yeah, we just have to renumber everything.
So,
Make it easy to find.
I've shown Tracy that that's the work that we've done. I wanted to make sure, you know, is it the town council's person that whoever was the one that drafted it, should they make the changes or should we? And she said,
Right.
no, it's now our baby, our responsibility
Okay.
to make those edits. So I would expect that what our next step would be is to bring that before this board
Good.
on the 20th of January for a final blessing and review.
Great.
And then at that point, it would be presented to the Board of Selectmen for adoption.
But we still, don't forget, we still have to get the main, what do you call it, the mocked up copy that you initially got from them.
Yeah, so I just need to get the
Yeah.
original document.
Oh, okay.
Then I need to then go in and make all of our edits.
Right.
But I mean, I think we were pretty confident that we made sure that everything that the work that this board had done was, I mean, we feel
Oh,
pretty,
that's, yeah.
we feel very confident
Yes.
that everything that was revised and changed, et cetera, by this board was put into the new policy. And again, that was sent to town council as the basis for changing
Right.
22 and 24 at town meeting, so they had all of those edits.
Yep.
So we feel pretty confident that once we make these edited changes and do the table of contents and have it presentable, and
It's a
then
lot of work, thank you.
we feel that the employee handbook, Tracy thinks that should go away.
Yeah.
And that this should be the policy.
And was there any discussion about the managerial
That would be the next step.
next step? Yeah. We use that as a companion piece to the, that's another story, okay.
I think that one just probably would, my expectation would be that it deserves a little bit bigger of a conversation,
Yeah, because that's really about,
managing.
yeah, about management, about policies, procedures, not just benefits and COLA, you know.
Right.
Mm.
And that probably would also be involved in terms of this discussion on performance evaluations.
Yep.
I think the performance evaluation discussion probably should come prior to any managerial
I
guidance.
did, by the way, reach out to the MMA, as I suggested I would last month, and I didn't get a tremendous amount of guidance from them, other than they say that their official policy is that it is in fact a best practice that municipalities in Massachusetts do at a minimum annual reviews.
Mm.
How you choose to do them, you know, what the template looks like is up to the town, there's many examples as there are towns, but that said, they do feel as a board, as an organization, that it is appropriate and really necessary for employees to get at least an annual review.
I think if you have a good functioning, goal-oriented job description, there's your template for a review. It says here, you're supposed to whatever, and, you know, have you done that?
Right.
Have you done whatever?
Right.
You know, so I think most of the job descriptions are in there and they're pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah. But then it becomes a matter of, okay, what are the corrective actions,
Yeah.
what are the steps?
How do you measure good,
Mm.
base
Yeah, what's the
and
scale?
excellent?
Mm.
I mean, that's a managerial decision as to whether somebody's achieving or outstripping and achieving marvelously.
Yeah, and for one town, it's a high-low average, for another town, it's a 1 to 10 scale, so that's the devil's in the
But it
detail.
always comes down to the judgment of the department head.
In the military, it's like no other,
Yeah.
best amongst peers,
Oh, yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, any other business other than revised personnel policy? Our next meeting is scheduled for January the 28th. Does that work for folks?
2019.
Okay, Monday, January the 28th at 4 PM. John? If there's no other discussion, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion, all in favor?